The biggest challenge in business is the ability to work with family members and the ability to work with people that may not have the same vision you do. So Federal Jack's Brew Pub and KBC has been in a location for 33 years in Kennebunkport Harbor. And originally, that was a kind of a failed real estate deal. Bob Dunphy Jr. often says to me he's the reason that Shipyards exists. Well, he was the original developer, great guy, but Gordon Hirschbees had invested in it. The investment failed. At the time, People Heritage Bank foreclosed on the whole deal, and Gordon asked me to see if I could help out. Well, I ended up buying the mortgage for us, and we had to go through a foreclosure process, ended up with a vacant piece of property. Long story short, I was at a brew pub, McGuire's Irish Pub and Brewery, with my partner Gordon and my brother Richard, and we ultimately thought, hey, this could go well in Kennebunkport. So I met Richard and Eddie at Gritty McDuff's, and they introduced me to Alan Pugsley. So long story short, I thought as a real estate guy, I could find somebody who wanted to go in that space. Well, Richard and Eddie decided they didn't want to put a Gritty's there. And then they got me to say, listen, maybe you could do it. I said, I don't want to do it. But we got the tenant that was there interested. It was a husband and wife team. And I went out and raised $300,000 to put the brewery in. Ultimately, my vision and their vision clashed. I had a vision of a brewery that would sell only our beer. They had a vision of, selling Bud, Miller, Coors, maybe Bass, maybe Guinness, etc., and maybe some of our beer. That was the first big clash, which ultimately led to the husband and wife team disagreeing, and their relationship got in trouble, unfortunately. And consequently, that group said, we're done, we're not doing this. In circumstances in business, you have borrowed money, you've seen a vision and you've started, and then you tried to help people get into business, and next thing you know, you're on the sidelines, but you have to jump in and put your own money in and put your own work in and your own energy in. I started to drink the beer at Kennebunkport Brewing Company. I tried to enjoy it. I started to enjoy the restaurant business, the excitement of the nights and the excitement of being involved. And because of that, and because of the excitement of the community, and everybody from George Bush and his family visiting to the locals, the summer people back then coming to Federal Jack's and loving it, that made me want to dive in further and also, stay in the business and grow the business. And luckily, Alan Pugsley agreed to come on board on a handshake, became a partner, and we, as they say, the rest is history. It was a bit of a roller coaster. And you got to remember, we were only 2 or 3 craft beers in the state of Maine. And the more people that drunk it, the more customers we got, the bigger we grew. And by '96, we were one of the fastest growing craft beers in the country. The biggest misconception is that people were just lucky and they got it given to them or whatever. And I would say that the harder you work, the more lucky you are. So you have to practice and talk out and lean on people and others to help, because no one person can make a whole vision come true. And betting on those people, and you can make mistakes, but you got to write the course and keep moving. And I've made a lot of mistakes, but 1 or 2 of the right decisions will turn to a very positive and good decision.